Welcome back to Pop Dissected. Today, we're going to be discussing what is going on with Camila Cabello's second studio record era, Romance. Many outlets are quickly reporting that this year is ending poorly for Camila, and that she's suffering from a sophomore slump, which is when any second effort in something is deemed to fail to live up to the first. Some are even going as far to say her career is over. But what is leading people to make these conclusions? We're about to find out. But before we begin, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more future content on all your favorite pop stars. If we look back at Camila's self-titled debut record, it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 119,000 album equivalent units and 65,000 pure sales. It released January 12th of 2018, and by December of that same year, the record had over 955,000 album equivalent units and 162,000 pure sales in the United States. Her debut was nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album at the Grammys and ended up on 10 year-end lists, topping Rolling Stone's 20 Best Pop Albums of 2018. The record spawned the massively successful Havana, which went number 1 on the Hot 100, was nominated for a Grammy, and has sold over 7 million units in the United States as of 2018. The record's second single, Never Be the Same, received a handful of accolades and peaked at number 6 on the Hot 100. Her success only continued with the release of Señorita with Shawn Mendes this year. The track went number 1 on the Hot 100 and spent 10 weeks in the top 10. This track is from the deluxe version of Shawn's own self-titled third studio record, but was later included on Camila's Romance. We can see Camila's debut record achieved a lot, and her success only continued with Señorita. But this seemed to change once Camila released the first single off Romance, Liar, releasing September 4th of 2019. The track peaked at number 52 on the Hot 100. For a lead single, that's not good. I think one issue we have right off the bat is that Señorita was still going very strong at this time. You would think that with a song that popular, people would jump at the opportunity to go for Liar. But unfortunately, it seems Señorita's impact overshadowed Liar entirely. The second single, Shameless, released just one day after Liar, peaking at 60 on the Hot 100. I think this only added insult to injury. If we go with the impression that Liar couldn't compete up against Señorita, then Shameless couldn't compete up against Liar. The potential for both of these songs to chart well got canceled out because they were released so close together. From a marketing perspective, you want the lead single to have a massive impact and then follow up with a second single after the first is done well. But that didn't happen. Not at all. Easy and Living Proof served as Romance's third and fourth singles, released October 11th and November 15th respectively. Now, Camila has very much promoted these songs with live performances, but neither of them charted on the Hot 100. Her upcoming fifth single will be My Oh My, set to release January 6th of 2020. So far, it's charted at 82 on the Hot 100, but only time will tell if this single can prevail. Aside from that, there was a lot of controversy Camila was wrapped up in before her record even came out. She was plagued with accusations of plagiarism. She was accused of ripping off Halsey's aesthetic for Hopeless Fountain Kingdom, and then accused of copying songs from Marina and the Diamonds with her tracks Cry For Me and Liar. Liar being called a copycat of Marina's own Karma. And the accusations don't even stop there. They go not only after Camila's singles, but her album artwork and packaging, other tracks on the record, and even Camila's live performances. Now, plenty of publications have reported on this, but a lot of these allegations stemmed from Twitter. Twitter is a very popular and powerful social network. Stuff spreads like wildfire. So once these accusations got out in the open, a lot of people saw them, and I'm sure a lot of people believed them. Only adding insult to injury, Camila was accused of calling her former Fifth Harmony bandmate a racial slur. Now, onto the record. First, the record leaked an entire 2 weeks before its scheduled release of December 6th. A song or two leaking sucks. An entire album 2 weeks before its release? That is bad. That's actually terrible. When anything leaks, people illegally download and stream it, thus taking away from the record or song's actual traction upon its release. The record was then discounted for $5.99. Now frankly, I don't really care how much her record is, but I think this can be seen as an obvious attempt to get people to purchase the record at a reduced price to get the top spot on the Billboard 200. And I'm not saying that's bad. The music industry is an industry. You're gonna do what you feel you need to get your money's worth. Period. The record officially debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200, with 86,000 album equivalent units and 54,000 pure sales. Now, this isn't a huge step down from her debut, but one would expect her second record to meet the same, if not greater heights than her first. Now, the record has received mostly positive reviews, praising her development from her first record. However, some critics noted they felt Camila was recycling older songs and some of her tracks felt overproduced. We also need to address the Romance Tour, scheduled to currently embark from May 26, 2020 until September 26th of 2020. There were rumors the tour wasn't doing well and wasn't selling out, but I couldn't find anything to back it up. So I went to Ticketmaster to take a look at seating maps where I could see individually what seats had sold, and it was a mix. Some venues had a lot of seats taken and others didn't. Now, the tour begins in May, so I'm sure many seats will start getting taken up once the deadline approaches. Camila is a new artist, so I don't expect her tour to sell out within seconds. However, this tour primarily seems to be an arena tour. With the controversy, lower sales, and poorly charting singles, this tour could very well end up being a money pit for Camila and her label. With all this, what right now is going on in the romance era that's causing this apparent decline for Camila so early in her career? I think one prominent factor to this decline was the success of Señorita, which caused a trickle effect. The song's popularity overshadowed her own lead single. Liar couldn't compete up against that. With Shameless being released the day after, it had to fight for attention up against Liar and Señorita. Liar couldn't impact properly as a lead single, and with that, the second single couldn't perform well either, thus leading to the third and fourth singles not performing at all. The accusations of plagiarism are damning. For casual listeners or people who may not know Camila all too well, these accusations very much could have turned them away from even acknowledging her music. I'd like to know your thoughts, so comment down below what you think of these accusations. Is it all a coincidence, or has Camila taken her inspiration too far? Now, obviously, the record leaking 2 weeks before its release was not a good thing. It doesn't seem it impacted her record's performance too much, but I'm sure it affected it in one way or another. Now, the tour is months away, so it's hard to determine if it truly isn't selling well. But it could be possible the controversies, leaks, and poor single performance have just deterred people from supporting a record they may not care about. Overall, it's honestly a shame all these things happened, in regards to the leaks and her single performance. Now, I'm not a personal fan of Camila, but I did see her open and perform with Taylor Swift when I saw the Reputation Stadium tour, and I thought she was great. She had energy and her vocals were powerful. I think some of these factors, the leaks and single performances, were just out of Camila's hands. But this happened to artists before, and it'll keep happening. If Camila really wants to capture everyone's attention, I think it'd be a wise move to release a very radio-friendly single that could be a smash hit. The spring has many televised performance opportunities, so Camila should take advantage of them. I could be wrong, but it appears there isn't a mass interest in her record as of now. She needs to discuss with her label and her team ways to hold her audience and the general public's attention to help her sell tickets for her tour. Now, of course, the romance era is far from over, but I'm very excited to see what comes next for Camila, and hopefully she'll get everything she deserves. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Comment down below your thoughts on the romance era so far. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more future content on all your favorite pop stars.